Well, we got the deer out today. They're all over the cemetery. Gonna stop and get a flower snack. Nice. First up today, we have Liberace. He's buried here with his mother Frances, also his brother George. Liberace had a twin that died at birth. He's the highest paid entertainer from the 1950s throughout the 70s. Some shows in New York City, he would earn up to $1.4 million per show. He'd also earn about $50,000 per week at the Riviera Hotel Casino down on the Strip in Las Vegas. Ends up dying of pneumonia complicated by AIDS. Some of the outfits he'd wear on stage, the buttons were actually real diamonds. Very elaborate. Liberace. Right next to Liberace, if you walk over to Sanctuary of Light, this area, and head down this area back towards the statue, we're still Hollywood Hills, Forest Lawn, Memorial Park, which is in North Hollywood. We're really close to the Hollywood sign as well. But look for this statue. If you recognize this, just to the right, we'll find Freddie Prinze. He dies 1977 and took his own life. Many say he was influenced by the Quaaludes he was on, heavy Quaaludes. Had a lot going for him. Stand-up comedian, also a starring in Chico and the Man. Up and coming, amazing individual, well liked, gets lots of visitors here too. Buried right next to his father. He's of Puerto Rican descent. His father dies 1979, 2 years after Freddie, so you can imagine the heartache he went through as well. Freddie Prinze. If you go back out to the courtyard and look to the right here along this wall, you'll find Nudie of Nudie Suits. Designed many Liberace outfits, elaborate. He also started out designing outfits for Porter Wagner. In fact, he gave Porter his first suit because he knew he would be good advertising for him. Goes on to do suits for Hank Williams Sr., George Jones, Little Jimmy Dickens, Elvis. He designed Elvis's gold lame suit. Nudie suit. Straight across from the Memorial Park, you can see Mickey Mouse on a water tower. This is the animation building. Right here, probably the best view in the cemetery is Miss Betty Davis. Betty Davis, she did it the hard way. Next up is UCLA basketball coach, legendary John Wooden. He wins 10 national titles in 12 years. Coached for 29 years. He established the pyramid for success that if you also use it in life and follow it, it's supposed to make you successful. Anytime you see John and Ellie's name together, John always insisted that her name be on top. John Wooden, legendary basketball coach, UCLA. Next up, if you come to the area of Columbarium of Radiant Dawn and enter this area, go straight back to the far wall, you'll find the gravesite location of Forrest Tucker, who starred as Sergeant Morgan O'Rourke in F Troop. 6'5", originally from Plainfield, Indiana. And then if you turn left and go to the wall on the left and make your way over to where you see this statue, and just beneath the statue is Walter Lantz, the creator voice of Woody Woodpecker. He also did the laugh. Walter Lantz. As we leave the area of Forrest Tucker, Walter Lantz, which is right behind us, we come across the location of Maury Amsterdam of the Dick Van Dyke Show. They say a lot of those jokes, those wisecracks he did on Mel, were ad-libbed. Whenever you see Mel go, ugh, as a response, that pretty much tells you that joke was ad-libbed. Maury's buried right next to his wife, Kay. They were married for many years. Interestingly, the way Maury got a start in show business is because Al Capone really liked him, made lots of phone calls for him to open doors in some of the joints. Just below and to the right is Isabel Sanford of the Jeffersons, Wheezy. She goes on to win some Emmy Awards playing George Jefferson's wife, Wheezy. Isabel Sanford, the Jeffersons. Not only are celebrities and famous people buried here, but we have a politician, Warren Christopher, who serves as Secretary of State under the Bill Clinton administration, his first term. He also served his country as serving Deputy Attorney General under the Lyndon Baines Johnson administration. He serves as Deputy Secretary of State for Jimmy Carter. He has also represented the Democrats for the 2000 election, the recount. Do you remember the Hanging Chads? Warren Christopher heads up the Christopher Committee when they investigated the Rodney King beating by the LAPD. Warren Christopher, a dedicated public servant. We're back out to main court now. We're at the location of Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. Carrie dies December 27th, 2016, right after Christmas. The very next day, Debbie dies, probably of grief and heartache. But Debbie's in show business for 70 years. She also owned a casino in Las Vegas called the Paddle Wheel. Carrie would also star in movies too. When Carrie's heading back to LA from London, there's a medical emergency on the plane. She ends up dying in an LA hospital 4 days later of cardiac arrest. Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. If you go to the exterior of this area, Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher's just on the other side of this wall. But if you come here, you'll find the youngest BG, Andy Gibb. Dies March the 10th, 1988, way too young. He had some drug problems, cocaine, and it weakened his heart. He ended up dying of heart failure. Looks like he gets plenty of visitors each year. What country are you from?
Please?
Okay. What country are you from?
Germany.
Oh, Germany.
Yeah, from Germany.
So you like America heavy metal?
Yeah.
And you wanted to see Andy Gibb too.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
Straight ahead by those benches is where I was just at with my new friends from Germany. It was good to see them subscribe to my channel here. Come up the walkway, turn left. We're still on the outside walls of this area. You'll find the 4-octave voice. Yeah, buddy. Quite a singing talent, Rawls. Because of copyright issues, I'm not able to bring in some footage of Lou singing or Andy Gibb. But you can go to YouTube and do a search and watch it all day long. Rawls, hard to beat. This area, Columbarium of Valor, if you enter the crypt area and look to the right, if you look high up, just a few rows from the top, you'll find the crypt location of McLean Stevenson. Henry Blake, a MASH, Lieutenant Colonel. He wins a Golden Globe Award for that television series. He dies 1996, just a few days after he was treated for bladder cancer, dies of a heart attack. McLean Stevenson.